This is the Ethereum 1 month overview reading for the month of December 2023. It's currently October 18th, 2023, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Ethereum at the time of this reading is currently $1,563.79. That's USD. And the shuffle video we're about to play for you was created on October 8th, 2023 at 10:21 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. The overall theme and behavior for Ethereum in the month of December is notably bearish. We have a decline that increases with momentum moving forward through the month. It's crossed with a decline through multiple support levels, then bouncing along support for a bit before breaking down through more supports. That's the debak card. Behavior around the highest high, we do sideways rotation, establishing support, and then there's a prominent move higher standing out on a multi-day scale, on like a 1 month chart scale, into the high. Behavior around the lowest low for the month, we have sideways rotation along key support, and that'd be key support relevant on like a 1 year scale. Now, before we get into the day-by-day chart behavior, the timing of the best trades and where we see the highs and lows to the day, we have roughly a 98% average accuracy if you're new, and that can be measured by charts and word in the statements made. But before we get into all that, guys, I want to make sure everybody's aware the whole purpose of the channel is the rule of karma. We expect that people are following through on the rule of karma. The universe will get fed up really fast with people that don't follow through on this when they profit from a trade utilizing this information. So I just want you guys to be aware it's the whole purpose of the channel. 5% of the profits that you make from each trade should be donated forward to one of these charities here. You just click on the link and donate, and then 5% of the profit should be donated here back to the channel as a way to say thank you. And really, that's what the channel relies on for support to continue putting out this content. That leaves you at 90%. Oh, there's going to be a Zelle link here relatively soon, over like the next couple of days here. That leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you do that, my friends, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel. Neglect to follow through, the universe will shut off the flow of abundance through this channel very, very fast. And once it's off, my friends, very difficult to get it back on. On the first, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with the fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. That's basically like the 1 day chart for the first. There's a trade opportunity there in the midst of, on a 1 day chart, a prominent move higher followed by a full retracement of that move. So that fast sudden move higher on the first, ending that rally along a diagonal trend line, that fast sudden move higher marks an opportunity to open up what appears to be a short position for an overnight swing trade. On the second, we have an important resistance on a multi-day scale that's highlighted. There's 2 local highs. So on a 1 day chart, there should be 2 crests or 2 peaks that form. In late morning session, there should be a notable trough that'll stand out on a 1 month scale. And out of that, we should have a pretty significant move to the upside, at least on a 1 day chart. I would exit in the midst of that trough before midday. It's like a late morning session. I would exit that trade, and if I see a trough and there's a big move out of it, almost like a breakout out of it on a 1 day chart, then I probably miss the opportunity to close out of that short position. And I would close out of it anyways, because it's just going to get more ugly if you hold on to it. Because on the third, fourth, we have very toppy energies. Very likely that we have the high here on the third, fourth, probably most likely on the fourth, but it could be on the third as well, because the Ace of Swords indicates usually, in a lot of cases, not usually, but often, it indicates a top. What it usually indicates is a resistance level that's highlighted on a multi-day scale there, and around that resistance level, there'll be a lot of price change, allowing for one to position themselves in both directions, 1 leg at a time. So in the case of Ethereum, we'd be putting on a short and a long position at separate times in the same day, based on the move that we see around this Ace of Swords. There's also like a secondary cross-suiting congruency here, where we have the defeat card here correlates to a crest or a peak. And that's early December. We don't have the defeat card, but we do have the appearance of the futility card in a prominent place, i.e. in a significator role. And the only correlations to the futility card on the timeline are here on the first with on the third with the Ace of Swords. So my feeling is that there's pretty significant opportunity there. As many as 4 local lows, so on a 1 day chart there on the third, as many as 4 local troughs or lows on a 1 day chart. What I would be looking for is a period of sideways rotation along key support. I'd want to open up a long position there. And then the following day on the 4th, in the midst of a rally to a high or the same high, a higher high or the same high, I would close that long position for an overnight swing trade. So there's 2 pretty solid trades right there, guys. And there's probably a third trade in there on the third, but it's very difficult to instruct ahead of time based on the Ace of Swords, because there's a lot of different scenarios that can happen with the Ace of Swords over an entire day. In any case, on the 4th, we want to open up a short position in anticipation of closing that short position on the 6th. So on the 4th, rally offering an opportunity into a highest high or the same high as the third, offering an opportunity to close a long position and for swing trade, and then open up a short position for a multi-day swing trade. On the 5th, we have a rally into key resistance on the multi-day scale, followed by a decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. Those spikes up will probably meet moving averages as resistance. On the 6th, we have a decline from a minor peak early in the day. On the 6th, we have a decline to and through support on a multi-day scale. We meet a second support, and we rotate sideways along their support. There's maybe somebody speaking towards the early afternoon session on the 6th that has something to do with Ethereum, and hard to determine. I think you could probably rely on it, but it's hard to determine. In any case, there's a lowest low or a lowest low thus far here on the 6th, 7th. Matter of fact, it may be that we have a lowest low on the 6th and then a lower low on the 7th, or it could be a combination here of one lowest low here between the 6th, 7th. Hard to say, but there's a notable opportunity in here. On the 4th, when I open up that short for a multi-day swing trade, I would look to close it at a trough early in the afternoon session on the 6th. And then you might be able to pull off a day trade here on the 7th. If there's decline on the 7th to a lowest low or close to a lowest low early in the day, that might be opportunity to open up a long position for a day trade that you would close towards the end of the day. I would be looking for like an important range here on the 7th, and there's notable decline here increasing with momentum as correlated to the orange correlation to the theme card. In any case, there's a rally in there from the 7th into the 8th where we have a peak or crest and a really significant drop to the downside off of that peak or crest on the 8th. The peak or crest is there on the 8th, prominent peak on a 1-month scale, and we sell off through multiple support levels, like a mini failure there on the 8th. Into the 9th where we have price swings and then another sharp drop around the cusp of the 9th, 10th into another lowest low, and it may be that it's the lowest, it's a lower low, or maybe the same low as the previous one from the 6th, 7th. Hard to say. It's probably the same one, and my sense is that because we have also here probability of revisiting a highest high, it's possible. It's not as strong a probability as the 3rd, 4th, but there is some probability of a big move on the cusp of the 10th, 11th, like a pop and drop to meet a highest high. The drop will be significant as indicated here by the unicursal hexagram energy, and I think that'll probably decline from the peak or crest on the 10th, 11th, decline from there, pretty notably indicated by the Prince of Swords, like jaggedly, but pretty notably into a lowest low around the 12th, 13th, and that'll most likely be a lower low than the previous 2 lows. We've got the Princess of Cups, or Princess of Discs, which is usually a very bottomy type of card, and then it's paired with the Death card, indicating a really significant low, or a lowest low thus far. This may be the lowest low for the month. It's hard to say. It's either the lowest low for the month, or we have a lower low here on the 22nd. In any case, I'm going to get into this in more detail and the best trades that I see moving through the remainder of the month in the paid version. Before we get into that, guys, let's see how we're doing for October. And even if it's a bad reading, guys, I still keep them up. We don't take down any readings because that gives you an honest view of how accurate we are, and it's insane. So even this one's a little bit off. It's still pretty significant. So this is the October chart for Ethereum, and we have the high here first thing, like on the 1st. So I missed that highest high there, that's for sure. But I got here on the 6th, 5th, 6th, I have another peak. And then we have significant trough and notable decline here on the 8th, notable decline on the 9th, into the 10th where we have I had possible highest high there. We didn't have a highest high, we did have a really big move. Like that really stands out, boom. And then that brings us back down to a lowest low, which is that Ace of Discs and double X. And I do have a lowest low there for the that's a 12th. I have it for the 11th, 12th as circled here. That's combo like an Ace of Discs and a Death card, right? Which is very similar to what we were just talking about. Princess of Discs and a Death card. So very likely a lowest low there. This is looking really accurate, aside from missing that highest high right at the beginning of the month, which sometimes that'll happen because it'll give me the next most relevant high because it's like, it's the first day, and after the very first day of the month, it's no longer relevant. So sometimes that type of thing will happen. This is looking really solid, guys. All right, so the way that you get the paid version, my friends, we talk about in the paid version, we talk about trades not just from a 1-month chart standpoint, but also from like a 1-year chart standpoint, and then we get into, if relevant, a multi-year chart standpoint as well. If there's price level information that we were able to extrapolate through these readings, we also talk about that in the paid version. We don't get that all the time, but when we do, it's in the paid version. And the way that you get the paid version, guys, really, really great way to support the channel. We know the names of everybody that goes ahead and does this. You go to our website, tarotfortraders.com. Our service is SO Meta Posts. Scroll down to monthly subscription, click here to order, and then you click on Ethereum, click here to subscribe. $111 a month, very underpriced. I wanted to be sure that anybody that's trading, that should be trading, should be able to pay for something like this. It's important, but this is what really helps the channel. We know everybody by name that does that. It gets you the paid version, which is the full reading. And thank you for everybody that goes ahead and does it. If you utilize the information for Ethereum regularly, it's really the right thing to do. But with that said, make sure to follow the rule of karma. You know what to do. You know where to go. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.